It's Impact 103 this afternoon, and that was Marcus Mookie with his latest song, which he released this past Saturday. And it was his birthday as well. The name of the song is Loving God, right here on Impact 103. With me, Tondi Rambani, on Tuesdays with Tondi. I'm so excited this afternoon. I'm getting to chat to someone I've spoken to in the past 9 months. This is the third time. But 9 months ago, we spoke about his book titled Refuse to be Boring. And guess what? He got married during level 4 of lockdown. How amazing, via Zoom even. He'll get to tell us a little bit more about that as well. And also, he has managed to pay off totally his debt during this period as of July 22nd. So please help me welcome right here on Impact 103, Charleshsuan. Charles, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And Tondi, we were just chatting off air, and I'm very, 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 really humbled and grateful that I checked the stats this morning. Our chat last time about the book. It still is the most popular interview on Impact Radio. I was like, how the heck did that happen? So thank you to everybody that's tuning, and hopefully today I will be able to encourage all the listeners out there, because I know this has been a crazy time. I don't think I've spoken to anybody this year. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's an amazing year. We're making so much money. Life is great.
Sure.
So like I said, I just hope today I could bring some good news.
That's really exciting. I'm really excited to get a chat to you about this. It's been an incredible journey for you. I'm sure. I mean, what a way to start a new family. Straight into lockdown. During lockdown, here you are. You got married via Zoom. I think I would like to start there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So the Zoom story, we obviously didn't plan it. We planned it at a beautiful, beautiful guest house, which is one of my friend's parents' guest house, and we had everything set out. And then obviously the lockdown hit, and the week before we were still doing food tasting. We're still saying like, this is what we're going to serve and this and that, and then bam, hit you. And then we went through a lot of tug of war, like, because in the beginning you couldn't do it.
Sure.
And I think as soon as they announced that you could, we found the church to say, look, you know what, we can do it for you online by Zoom. And we literally had 48 hours to put it together.
Wow.
Yeah, stressful. So just it's not obviously not ideal, because and it was sad. I feel sad for my wife Dominique, because normally the bride will have her bridesmaids,
yeah,
champagne, taking photos, putting her dress on. She had to do that by herself.
Sure.
And also the first look, like when a groom walks in and he turns around and looks at the beautiful bride, the first look. Normally there's a cameraman.
Yeah.
I had to set that up with a tripod.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But the blessing in it is we quickly counted. We had actually more than 100 people joining us, sure, which was bigger than our initial guest list. Our guest list was only 60, but it's a blessing in the way that people from overseas could see it too. Wow. But it was also a bit strange, because normally after a wedding, you have a big party, everybody like toast and laugh and take photos. For us, it was like, thanks for coming, end meeting.
Yo, wow. Yeah. No first dance as well,
yeah, thanks for coming. And then we just walked back into our house, and that was it. But we made the most out of it, and like I said, I'm very, very grateful for the people that was able to join. And the thing is, we did a quick survey. That morning I created a survey to say, is this your first Zoom wedding? 90% of people said yes.
Wow.
And then I asked them, did you dress up for this wedding, or are you still in your pajamas? Some people were in their pajamas, and we just decided to have some fun. And obviously there were tears flying and the usual stuff.
That is a special one, though. I know it's not ideal to have a wedding via Zoom, because obviously the experience itself. But just now it's a new experience for everyone. Like 90% of the people that you mentioned, it was the first time being in their PJ, some of them, and just being able to be present. But I think at the end of the day, the fact that people were there to support you, that is what counts a lot. But what a way to start a new family, really, because you have a powerful story as well. Speaking about debt.
Yes.
Right, and how you battled with debt for a while, but leading into your new marriage, you started off this new union being debt free.
Yeah.
But what we see a lot of times is people, when they get married, they start off with debt. But you guys started on a clean slate. Let me in on your journey in becoming debt free.
All right, let me just rewind that. So I started my own business back in 2017 after leaving a very, very I'll say a fairly well-paying job, and I took the plunge.
Yeah.
And I got into debt
Sure.
because I started my business. And just a disclaimer: I've never been in debt before that because I never spend more than I earn.
Sure.
But I made the rookie mistake of I only saved up 3 months' salary. And it took me 7 months to get my first client. By that time, my 3 months salary was already, that 3 months savings was already gone.
Sure.
So lesson learned, it was always going to cost you more. It's always going to take you longer when you start off a business because you need to find your niche. You need to design this and design that. You need to sell to client and clients. It's not like buying a T-shirt. Oh, I like it, I'll buy it straight away. I'm selling a service that is, it takes longer, helping people with their communication message. It takes longer and it's intangible.
Sure.
And it kind of just spiral. And my first year of 2017, I burned through my savings. I maxed out my credit card. I was 120,000 Rand in debt, credit card debt. And I remember that December was tough. I had 950 Rand left in December. 950.
Wow.
So listeners, one more time. 950 Rand for the whole of December after paying off my bills and stuff. It was tough. And I remember my friends would want to go out for drinks or celebrate. I will have to make up some kind of excuse. Or the ones that I'm close to, I'll say to them, listen, I really want to come, but I really don't have bucks.
Sure.
So they have to sponsor me, and so I'm very grateful. And then the second year got a little bit better because another thing that I learned is you need to find what you're good at, what your unique selling point straight away. Because my first year, I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but then it wasn't it. And it was only the second year that I was able to define, like, you know what, helping people to clarify their message to make more sales. That's what I'm good at.
Sure.
And then I developed a framework because my first year, I didn't have a product to sell. So, and that was
You're still figuring things out.
Exactly. But debit orders don't stop. They're not going to go, oh, shame, Charles started a business. Let's give him a break. No, debit order, beep, 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 beep. Actually, today is the third or fourth. I'm pretty sure debit order for people. Yeah, so we are familiar with that beep beep sound. So, and the second year got a little bit better. And then the third year, I believe, was kind of like the breakthrough. And during that period, there were some dark periods. Like, I thought about selling out. For me, selling out is, I need to go back and get a secure job because my parents were concerned. Sure. My mom was like, Charles, do you really think, because I know she loves me.
Yeah.
But she's like, she doesn't want me to, she didn't know how much debt I was in. And then I just couldn't. And I eventually did go for a few interviews. I remember there were 4 interviews. I still remember the company. I made it to the final round. And it was between me and other people. I'm not going to name those companies,
sure.
But I'm very, very grateful that they didn't offer me a job because otherwise I would have taken out the safe in inverted commas, safe route.
The safe route, yeah.
But I remember that one of the turning point was I went to GLS, Global Leadership Summit, and I think it's on next week or something like that, or is it this week? And I remember there was a lady that she went through the similar thing, and she said that if the reason why you have started your business hasn't changed, and the what and the how has changed, and it's okay, carry on going. If your why is still the same, and my why has never changed, like what hurts me really, really deeply is when I see somebody that started a business. Let's say you're a baker, you're beautiful, you bake wonderful cake, or you are a skilled accountant, or you're a skilled doctor.
Sure.
And you start a business, but you don't know how to communicate what you do. It breaks my heart when I see that. And that is why I started the business, to help people clarify their message so they can make more sales. That has never changed.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I'm like, you know what, that's true. Let me push through. And then I had to ask my sister. My sister's an actuary, so she knows all about calculation.
Sure.
I said to Kathy, here's the deal. I'm 120 large, and I'm about to like be finished.
Sure.
So my sister was very grateful. She lent me money, 50,000. So now it's 170.
Sure. Yeah, you have more debts now because she's
So
giving you more money.
So I was 170,000 rand in debt, and but then when I earn money, then I'll pay her back and stuff. But during this period, another thing I want to bring up is the tithing and offering. Now, it was very tempting for me to tell myself, you know what, God, I don't have money to pay the bills, so I'm sure you'll be okay if I don't offer. You get that right, don't you? You know,
You understand me.
You understand. And I remember chatting to some people, and I remember there were even one or two elders, which I'm not going to mention the people's name. They say to me that, Charles, perhaps it's not a good idea for you to tithe while you owe money, because then you got to owe more.
Sure.
But then I remember the teachings. I remember that he owns it.
Come on.
He owns it. So I bite the bullet, so to speak, and I whenever I earn, I tithe. Whenever I earn, I tithe. And the amazing thing is, in the 3 years, I have never, and I mean never, missed a single debit order. I don't know how the heck I did it.
Wow.
I don't know how. I really don't know how I did it. Like every month when I'm so close, then I will get a new client, or somebody will do something that get me a speaking gig or something, and then I made it through little by little, little by little, little by little. So I want to encourage people out there, like, you know what, if you are in the same situation, do not stop tithing because you're stealing from God.
Sure. That's a powerful point.
That's what God teaches us. I think it's in the book of Malachi, if I remember correctly. Like, if you don't tithe, you're stealing from God, and I don't dare steal from Him.
Wow.
That's basically what my mindset at the time.
It's a powerful principle.
But when I was at my lowest point, a friend of mine recommended a book, which is Craig Rochelle's "Hope in the Dark." How to believe God is. I think it's called "Why Believe God is Good." How to believe God is good when the world is not.
Sure.
Something like, because that's what I was. That's what I was
Wow.
struggling with. Like, God, I listened to your calling, and I'm doing this, and now I end up here.
How come?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? So that book really helped me a lot. Hope in the Dark by Craig Rochelle. So if you're going through a tough time, I highly recommend reading.
That's powerful. You know what, Charles? We'll be back with this because this is so powerful and this is really helpful. And I see here Lenny says, hello, Charles. Well done. Incredible story. But you know what? Stick around. I'm still with Charles and we'll be unpacking more on how he overcame and just giving encouragement on how you too can overcome.
My friend, sons and daughters together in harmony. Open up and let love flow. He draws near when we draw close. There's freedom in this place today. Yours and this love. One voice, one heart. A dissension, just peace and harmony. Rise
Rise up and sing with one voice. It's Seth and Never right here on Impact 103 with me, Tondi Rambani, on Tuesdays with Tondi. I'm chatting to CharleshSuan this afternoon on how he overcame his debt. He managed to get debt free as of the 22nd of July. And today I get to chat to him about his story. But before I get to that, I've got so many messages coming through. I see that this is really impacting you. Shalom here saying, wow, the power of God through tithing. May God help me also to follow this principle. I pray that he helps you. Shalom. And also Nyara saying, Tondi, hey, tell Charles I said thanks for the points on tithing and being tempted not to tithe when you are in financial trouble. Wow. It seems as if like this is a really powerful point that, is resonating with people so much. And also one more here. From Refueler saying, Batong, Charles, your story is so inspiring, Charles. Incredible.
I'm getting emotional.
You can cry, it's all right.
Because I'm not expecting this kind of response.
Sure.
I'm really not. Now, Tondi wanted, Orphe asked me, how I finally did it. And it's nothing sexy. Slow and steady.
Sure.
Slow and steady. There's nothing sexy about what I did. So I save, I give. So I give, I save, then I live. You give, you save, you live. You give, you save, you live. That's it.
Give, save, live. Sure. Well, what does that mean?
Okay,
what does that look
give
like?
meaning as soon as I get my first paycheck or any client pays me, the first amount that goes off my bank account is my tithe.
Sure.
Okay.
So that's your priority.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it comes to I need to obviously pay for debit orders and whatever's that's left over. After I'm able to invest, then I spend on myself. That's what I mean by that.
Wow.
So other people is they spend first, and then whatever left over, then they might do tithing or pay the expenses.
Sure.
So that's give, save, live. Give, save, live. Give, save, live. That's it. And
That's
then
powerful.
the other thing is it takes time to build up your clientele. So with me, it took off the second year. I got a chance to get invited to speak at one of a digital marketing agency in Pretoria called iLead. So they invited me to speak at the client day, and they were happy with it. And then I was chatting to my corporate client. They said to me, "Hey, what you been up to?" I said, "Oh, I recently gave a talk." And then they said, "You know what? We're actually looking for a speaker for our franchise event. Would you be interested?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And then things start building up little by little because at that time I was literally traveling through the country, like different cities and stuff, and I had to work on my public speaking skills. I got a time to interact. And when I'm on stage, my energy comes out. I'm an extrovert.
Oh, sure.
That's where I get my energy from. I like to entertain people and I like to help them grow their business.
Come on.
And things start growing little by little, little by little, little by little. And then I start developing my own framework. And then I started my workshop, working with business owners to clarify the message. Because portable is memorable. Meaning that sometimes you give I'm sure you've been to places that the people give a great speech, you feel motivated, and the next day it's like, what exactly did that person say?
You've forgotten about
Exactly.
it. Sure.
So portable is memorable, meaning that if your message is clear, I will remember 3 days from now on, 3 weeks from now on.
Sure.
So let me share a quick example. I actually learned this from Andy Stanley. He said that when he was in postgrad school, he was obviously very pumped, and he got a chance to speak at a high school, and it was a Friday afternoon. And he knows, like Friday afternoon, high school student, they don't want to listen to another sermon. So he came up with a short message that is highly repeatable. And 3 years later, he ran into somebody else, and the kid was able to say it back to him, like
wow.
what the thing was. And that is when he kind of like clicked. And the message was about army commander called Naaman. He suffered from leprosy. And the summary was about understand why, submit and apply.
Understand why, submit and apply. Sure.
Understand why things are happening to you, submit to God, and apply it.
Wow.
Easy to remember. 3 years later, he ran into the same kid. And the kid said to him, "Hey, you're that guy. You said, understand why, submit and apply." And then the penny dropped. So it's a whole idea about that. I mean, the shortest distance between two people is a story. Doesn't matter what culture you're in. We share a story, then we're connected. And then the final that how I really got over, which is really a credible thing, is I use the word I had an investment property that I've been wanting to sell for a long time. And obviously this year, during lockdown, it's a bad time to sell. Nobody's got money, people are getting retrenched. But then I got an offer in February.
Wow.
I didn't even put it on the market. My agent just say to me, like, I saw the price. I was like, okay, wow, this is amazing. So I sold it. But then, because of the lockdown, normally the house transfer takes 90 days. Because people were getting sick in municipality, they were getting sick at the deeds office. It took 150 days.
Sure.
And trust me, my heart was going up and down because all the thoughts went through my mind. What if this guy gets retrenched and then he can't pay my rent? Or what happens if the bank declines his bond? All these things went through. But finally, after 150 days, it came through. So with that proceed, I was able to pay off my debt in one go.
Wow.
And I'm still able to save up 6 months living expenses. I know some of you out there say, well, I don't have a house and this and that. But here's the thing. 3 years ago, I made a decision to save up. I was single. I could have spent it on shoes, clothes, traveling, whatever, or big screen TV. But I made a decision to save up for 2 years. So I had a deposit to buy a house.
Sure.
And the thing is, when it comes to investment, look, I'm not a CFP. I'm not a certified financial planner. So I'm not giving advice. I'm just sharing my
personal story.
My
Yes.
personal story. Like, time is your best friend when it comes to investment. The younger you are, the better the better it suits you, because you can go through ups and downs. You can go through mistakes. So for me, that was most likely my best money-making decision.
Wow.
Like sacrificing for 2 years. Where my friends are going out and having a good time, I'm saving to buy the property. Sure. Because if it's without the property, I still would be able to pay off the debt. It would just probably take me a lot longer, because
Sure.
you have to cover your monthly expenses plus servicing the debt. I mean, before the lockdown, I don't know what is it now, but the NCA, the National Creditors Act, allows maximum of 25% on your credit interest rate. 25%.
Sure.
And there's no other investment in the world that will give you better return, unless it's a Ponzi scheme.
Sure.
So another recommended book is by a guy called Warren Ingram. He wrote a book called How to Make Your First Million. But don't let the cover fool you. It's not get rich quick. He's just basically explaining the principles of investing, of these little things. What are ETFs? What are unit trusts? What is a RA? What is a pension fund? What is a tax-free savings? So his book is like solid food. So I was able to build my foundation solidly. And you have to sacrifice, eh?
Sure.
Because it's nice to have every 2 years to get a new phone or a new car. I had to sacrifice. So I'm very, very glad I made the sacrifice 3-4 years ago to save up.
And now here you are, debt-free, 100%.
Totally unexpected.
No credit card.
Now another thing I know is, because this is over radio, so I have to paint you guys a picture. My lovely wife Dominique came up with this brilliant idea called Operation Blue Star. So on it, if you guys are on Facebook Live, you can see it. She basically gamified it. She made it fun. So every time I pay off, let's say from 120,000 to, let's say, 99,000, 98,000, 97,000, every 10,000 there's a milestone. So let's say if I go from 100,000 to 90,000, 10,000 is a milestone. I will get a treat. For example, she will take me out for dinner, or I'll get a 16 minutes body massage, or I'll get a pair of sneakers, or whatever it is.
Nice.
The more I pay off, the bigger the reward.
Wow.
And that made it fun. We did it together. And then I'm never throwing this Operation Blue Star, even though, yes, Dominique, the name is cheesy, but it worked. It worked.
It really works. I think that's an incredible idea, because
Celebrate small wins.
that's the thing. And I think, especially when it comes to being debt-free or striving for that goal, it can be so hard, as you're talking about sacrifice and all these different things, because we still have bills to pay every month. We still have responsibilities, so it doesn't make it any easier. But also being able to still, take care of yourself, reward yourself for the small wins. That's an impressive thing to do.
Look, it definitely made it a lot more fun. Like, for me, 22nd of July, and I'm keeping this. I'm going to show my kids one day. I'm not throwing this away. This is like part of the memory. But it's also the same thing like staying fit. It's if you're being overweight, you didn't pick up weight overnight. You're not going to lose it overnight.
Sure.
And you have to show up every week, sweat it out 3-4 times. You could be sitting at home and drinking Coke and eating chips. It takes sacrifice. And like me and my wife, we work out 3-4 times a week. We got a home gym set up now. I mean, since the lockdown, I haven't been back to the gym. I don't even know what gym looks like these days. But we have a home gym set up, and I keep on reminding her because after a hard day, especially when it's hot, she's like, I don't know, it's a hard workout. And I said to her, honey, December bodies are made during lockdown. December bodies are made during lockdown.
It's a good one. Wow, Charles, you know what? I've one more question for you, and this one is actually from a listener. Natalie says, Charles, I don't have enough money to pay my rent. How do I tithe? That's a really good question.
That is a very, very good question. Natalie, I don't know what your situation is. The only thing I can say to you is go to the scripture. Don't listen to what people say. Go to the scripture and pray about it. Fast. Fasting is another thing that me and my wife start fasting. So we actually fast twice a week. On Sunday, I fast social media. I don't go onto my phone. No Facebook, no Instagram, nothing. And this is just my own personal experience. When we fasted, breakthrough happened.
Wow.
So Natalie, I don't know when was the last time you fasted or if you have never fasted, but that's just what we did. You're in a tough situation, but that's what I'll suggest to you. Fast and study the Word of God.
That's really good. Charles, thank you so much for chatting to me today. Really, really great chat and great, inputs that you gave there. Just sharing your story, but it was really resonating with our hearts. So thank you so much for that, and praying for your journey. A blissful marriage to you and your wife. I'm sure she's listening right now. Shout out to her.
Definitely is.
What would you like to say to her before we close?
I love you, Dominic. My mom always said to me, marry well. It's the best decision you can make. And so far, it is.
Oh, so romantic. Charles, you're making me want to get married right now. But otherwise, bless you, bro.
Thank you.